It struck me that when the rest of the world could see the disproportionate response, that within 48 hours, what did America do? What did Biden do? He sent 2 aircraft carriers. He sent a flotilla. He sent the message, we stand with Israel unreservedly, which everybody else had to parrot. And let's not forget, our government just parrots whatever the American president says. If tomorrow Biden says, we're for a Palestinian state and we're going to have equality, watch how they fall in line. But this is what the Palestinians are up against. Just this week, $14 billion of aid. That's what he wants to sanction. This is military aid. On top of what they've already sent. They've sent a squadron of planes, a squadron of ships, stores of ammunition, whilst knowing that the children of Gaza are being buried alive under rubble caused by the very bombs paid by us here in the UK and America. The shame of it, the horror of it. And when I hear these people talk about civilization, it makes me sick. This idea that you can be dressed in a smart suit and you can go and preach to others what humanity and civilization is or isn't. And they can sleep at night knowing that this is what they are doing. Because this is not a natural disaster. This is a man-made human disaster. People who are alive today, this minute, will be dead tomorrow because of the complicity, the green light, the political umbrella, and the military tools sent by America and our government. And so this is not a fight that's happening over there. It's something that our taxes are paying for. It's something we can't be removed from. It's either we stand against it or we are passively complicit in it. That's another reason we're here today. Because this is about democracy here. Because I know the vast majority of the British people would not want their hard-earned taxes to be used in that way. And the hypocrisy, again, we're here in Birmingham. 1 in 2 kids in Birmingham lives in poverty. Even the majority of their parents work. No matter how many hours they're working, they cannot earn enough to keep their houses warm and to feed their kids nutritious meals. And yet, we can send billions in wars in Ukraine, in Palestine, and in the Middle East. They never say we don't have enough money for war, but say we don't have enough money to allow people to live with dignity. And the Palestinian people never asked for charity. They never asked for charity. I want to spend a minute talking about why I'm inspired by the Palestinian people. Because I admit I get tired, I get depressed, I get overwhelmed just by looking on the screen, and you just want to look away and get through the day sometimes. And yet they have grown up generation after generation facing this injustice whilst being called the oppressors, whilst being denied their very humanity, whilst being called terrorists themselves, and yet their humanity has not diminished. They are not a people full of hate or anger or vengeance. You hear their music, you see their art, you listen to their poetry, you see their love and compassion, and you cannot but be inspired. I've heard these words, samud, steadfastness, and they inspire me. Because that's what we need to be, my brothers and sisters. It's not going to be over tomorrow. It's not going to be over next week. It's not going to be over next month. The Israelis are planning for a 2-year assault. That's just what they're saying. So we've got to be ready. And there's a beautiful concept, rabat, where even when your heart's been hurt, and you bandage it, and you stay firm. I learned that from the Palestinians. And this is what keeps me going. Their faith. When they see what's happened to them, and of course they cry, and they are shaken, and they are full of grief as they hold their loved ones who they cannot help anymore. But they still say, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. They still say that. They say it, they mean it, and I envy their strength at times, but I gain strength from their strength. So this is not hopeless. The arc of justice is a long one. So this is not about quick wins, but it's a test on us. Do we have that small? Do we have that steadfastness? Or are we just emotive at times, we burn out and then we go back to our lives? Or do we keep building this movement? Because this is not a time to slow down. What you've done in Alum Rock already has been amazing. Coming out week after week, and I salute my brothers and sisters who are doing that. This is not a time to slow down, it's a time to keep going and step up. This is an election year. Every few years, it's the time they come running for their vote. There's a choice. Are we going to do the same old thing? Or are we going to offer an alternative?
What is the alternative?
Well, there's many alternatives. One is you make sure that those people who voted should not allow a ceasefire when it could have made so much difference. You make sure that they're not rewarded at the ballot box. That's the basic.
Independent.
Whether you want to go as an independent, whether you want to go for an alternative party, that's up to you. There's nothing stopping us. We have that much freedom still. They're coming on, they're trying to close some of our